my friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are tackling the Glamour Gulch biome in Disney Dreamlight Valley's Wishblossom Ranch, giving Cruella a fashionable estate fit for her. I just couldn't wait to use these modular kits that came with Glamour Gulch, as well as all of the new foliage and craftable items that we got. If you need any inspiration to create a glamorous and spacious area for Cruella, then definitely keep on watching. So I am sitting here in the middle of Glamour Gulch, and it's the area by a bridge and a wall that surrounds the area, and I am going to put Cruella's house by the back. Next to her house we will use the De Vil manor entry pieces, which are the biggest pieces of the modular kit, following with some manor corner pieces. The corner pieces aren't lined up exactly with the taller pieces, so I put them a little bit more in the front, also since there is a pond on the right that I just couldn't get it further back. Tucked into those corners, I put down these scarlet bell towers, and in front of those I actually use these manor archways. A lot of these pieces are found in the biomes, so whether you have to fix them with blueprints or if they're just already sitting there, you do not have to craft too many pieces. I had to craft a few extra pieces, but the rest of them are available already. I am now putting more corner pieces on either side as close to the walls as possible. In those gaps, I'm going to drop the manor small entry pieces. The one on the right leads to the pond that is available to fish, and the left side is I guess more of a longer way to get to the same pond, and the bridge that is right there. Now I am placing this giant fountain pretty far away from the house and in the center. This is also found all over the biome, so there is absolutely no need to craft it, and you see here how much space I have left since we are building a fancy courtyard. I am using these new hedge pieces to create a symmetrical design in the center. I actually plucked them from the biome that's next door, and you can actually buy more from Scrooge once you pick those up. I am having the outer hedges circle around the fountain to make the foundation of the pathing structure, and then I use some straight edge pieces to help make this shape. It kind of looks like a sock, if there is a way to describe it. In the middle of each hedge, I use these newer trees, and I place the smaller ones in the middle and then put the larger cone-shaped tree on the outside. Now on the sides, I make a pretty easy circle with the long curved pieces, and I put these sheer topiaries right in the middle. Now I just fill in the middle hedge fountain area with this pathing, and also extending it up and down the fountain to reach Cruella's home. Oddly enough, I liked the look of the ALPINE cobblestone pathing more than the actual gulch slab flooring, so I used this one here. It is a bit grindy to get the materials for the pathing alone, so I would recommend just having a bunch of mining and fishing villagers and some potions to collect as many resources as possible. You probably noticed that I do have a big gap in the pathing since we are going to put a black and white accent for some Cruella vibes. This part is a bit tedious, but you know what they say, hard work yields excellent results. These are the main valley paths, so I used the brick road and the Forgotten Lands pathing to create a checkered pattern. And yes, you do have to place each piece individually, and we will be doing this in other areas of the build later on. I wanted to frame the buildings in the back with taller trees, but we just didn't get any super tall trees for the Gulch biome, so I definitely had to improvise. I used some of the small oak trees, which also they aren't small, but whatever. And these trees match in color with the hedges, so it seemed the best fit. In the center, I use a short Japanese maple tree for some red, and I don't know what it is with Gameloft calling the most massive trees in the game small or short, but they're just lying at this point. On the sides, I fit in some large red measuring trees, and spoiler alert, they ain't large. They're medium at best. Now here is where I nearly crashed out because there is an odd footprint on the left side, so as I am putting these solarium pieces on either side of the circular hedges, I am going to push it quite up because of that footprint, and so I'll do that on both sides. They aren't even perfectly centered with the circles technically, but I was determined to make it work because I am a symmetrical girly, so we must trust the process. I'm going to fix that gap that we made behind by adding some more of those gulch trees. Now with that corner piece that we have, I am counting the spaces between that and the solarium because again, I just want it to be as symmetrical as possible and I'm a little bit extra, so I'm just individually counting it so I can imitate that corner piece on the other side. The very back of the biome is weird because the wall pushes my camera all over the place, so be aware of that before you choose to build in here if that bothers you. In the back, I am using another entry piece with the 2 wing pieces, and I got Cruella's car from a quest, which is fantastic, but that won't stay in this spot for long. I am making more of a half circle thing on either side, using some shorter pieces with the longer curved pieces and putting a hedge tree in the middle. In the top and bottom of the build, so basically where Cruella's house is and the front of the biome, I am repeating that checkered pattern. This is for all builds in general, but if you ever want to fill up a space and you have a limited item limit, I highly recommend experimenting with pathing. Pathing can absolutely be decorative if you want to, and having cool patterns or designs will make the space look fuller without using a lot of items. This part is a bit of a boring time lapse, but I wanted to show you how I fill up the rest of the space using the ALPINE cobble pathing. And as I mentioned before, experimenting with pathing can make your build look a lot more interesting, so I decided to mix and match, and in the front and back areas I will use the slate stone path. Really, I have about 4 different paths in this build alone, but I think it just adds character. I did think that the checkered pattern was getting a little bit overwhelming, so I shortened the width of the front and back strips to be exactly 3 spaces wide, and for the center part I shortened the length of the checkered path by 1 space on either end. I think it just makes the overall pathing a little bit more open, and I think a lot more even as well, which makes it look nicer. I am decorating inside of the hedges, and some time has passed to where I was able to craft some cool new pieces, so I surround the hedge trees with this runway light floor thing and putting a mannequin on each corner. These mannequins are also found in the underbrush section. I also use these red sequin cypress trees. also be adding these red gulch planters, which can also be found in underbrush. I can never know when to stop adding details, so one final detail here, I craft some leaf sculptures and place a couple of them down. This will actually change later because I didn't realize there were white sculptures, so while I'm putting down the green and black and red ones, I will later on just make them black and white for the Cruella vibes. Back at the circle scissor pieces, I used the wrought iron trellises with more of those runway lights and more of those sculptures and planters, which again, these sculptures will be white at the end. This is the corner now, which I didn't really know what to do with it, so it's kind of a filler space. I'm using some hedges to close it off and just lining it with some trees. I also use this iron dress form, and I think it's a bush or a mannequin bush, but it has flowers and it's pretty, so we will line the back with those as well. I put a green hedge tree in the back, and in front of the hedges I will use more of those planters from before. This is where I also started to put some lights, and so these are the vintage ones that came from the biome itself, so I put a couple in that area. I will also be filling the inside of those two half circle hedges that I made, so all that's going on back there are just some more runway lights and mannequins circling the tree with a light in the back to illuminate the tree when it is evening and night. This is the entrance where I would enter the biome, and so I'm going to use more hedges and another gate, using the same foliage and lights from the last area. Going back to the middle, I added more gulch trees on either side of the solariums and starting to put some more finer details. I use these gothic patio tables, and they're not the same as the afternoon tea party item. I don't know how to get more of those, but you can just recreate them using the patio tables and chairs separately. I did feel like something was missing in the middle, and so I will be using more of those cast iron greyhound sculptures in a bit, but I also add in 2 more of those entry gates on both sides. I think it helps to give more light to the middle without it being that blaring hazy light that we used before. I'm going to show you my placement for the lights, which are these vintage lamp posts, and they are very hazy, so I am careful not to use too many of them. Definitely placing one behind the scissor sculptures to enhance it in the evening and night. Where I mentioned earlier, I discovered that we have the white leaf sculptures, and so I am just switching them out here. We are now going to just completely pivot. So this is behind the house where we have this massive gap that we made, and so I am angling this path down to reach that pond. I line up 3 entry pieces just to fill up the space because I was kind of being lazy here. I use some gulch fences here as well, and then create a sort of seating area. I never got to use the manor corner storehouse, and so this was the best place to put it, surrounding it with a couple more gulch trees. I also wanted to put the telephone booth here in the outskirts, and y'all, tell me why this isn't even the same item as what's in the preview. I really need them to fix it because what is this? Anyway, we put that with 2 lights and just extend the pathing over there as well. I gotta add seating, and so in front of the scissor sculptures, I used some mannequins and some gothic benches with these black glass mod coffee tables, and I repeat this on the other side as well. In the center with the fountain, I actually opted to use these spotted settees with the dog sculptures, only doing the front and back sides. Now all that's left is some final details, and so I use these water fountains that have water that shoots out, and I put them in different spots of the build, and then I add a couple few touches, and then we are done. have to excuse the very wonky walkthrough. I think this area is glitched or something because my camera randomly zooms in even with the wall being far away, so I hope they fix that soon. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough and I will see you at the end. I hope you liked the speed build, friends. This was a lot of fun to do and not to mention time consuming. I just knew I wanted to do something grand with these manor modular pieces, and I can't wait to keep using these pieces to decorate the rest of the Glamour Gulch. I hope this gives you the inspiration you need to give Cruella a fashionable place in the ranch. If you liked the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!